One of the worst experiences in my entire life is divorce. And unfortunately, I've experienced it on both ends that you don't want to experience it. I am a child of divorce. My parents had a very, very ugly divorce. That short story involved adultery, best friends, kidnap, mercenaries. It was a lot. Now that was my parents' deal, and me and my brother endured that, and maybe that's a story for another day. But I had the unfortunate situation of putting my own kids through divorce. Me and my wife got divorced. We have 4 kids together, and the thing about divorce is when my mother and father got divorced, that was not even a choice for me and my brother. It was easy. My mom, all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. But because of that situation, because of how I felt, and that I vowed to be the best father I could be. And I might not be the best father I can be, but I think that I'm a great father, and I dote, and my children are everything to me. There were times that I could have been a much better husband. And you've heard me talk about my struggles with depression and anxiety. A lot of things that I didn't even realize that I was suffering from while I was in this relationship. That is not even near the crux of what was wrong in our relationship, and I'm not even going to get into that. But I put my kids in an impossible situation. Because now they have 2 parents who they know that loves them, and they're splitting. And the one thing I was used to was seeing my kids every single morning, being with my kids every single day. These modern divorces and situations with baby mamas and baby daddies, I don't like none of that shit. I need my kids every day. But now the kids are in a situation where they have to choose. How do you put people in an impossible situation? Hello, Governor. This is Rakai Steed, new from the Ville. And I'm here to talk to you about Doctor Who, Season 8, Episode 7, Kill the Moon. Now, what I'm not going to do, what I've been doing before, is going into this long recap. I'm not doing none of that. If you want to see my true reaction and the discussion, then go into the description and look up episode that this analysis is based on, and you can see the full reaction and discussion between Centel and myself. Well, actually, the full thing is on his Patreon. You'll see an edited version on YouTube. The Doctor and Clara and another lady who's leading some sort of space mission finds that there is a problem with the moon, and the moon is actually an egg, and it's birthing some sort of super space dragon. I don't know, Shinron. Where are my Dragon Balls, sir? Pause, B. Anyway, the Doctor says, you know what? You humans, you're so used to me saving the day, coming in with my cape on. Nah, this is a human thing. Y'all do human stuff. I'm gonna let y'all decide the fate of your planet. Because the astronaut lady, she wanted to blow up the moon. Just blow it up. Don't, because the dragon, whatever's inside, could be dangerous, could kill everybody on Earth. And Claire's like, we can't blow up the moon. and they try to put it to a vote to the earth is like, blow that bitch up. Blow it up. And at the last second, Clara stops it. Like, nah, it don't feel right. The dragon hatches and flies off, and somehow the moon regenerates itself, becomes a whole new moon. Some old wild shit. This was one wild ass episode, and great concept, poor execution. Now, you know that I love my quotes. I do. And here are a couple that I have for you. This one's by Charles R. Swindoll. He says, "We are all faced with a series of great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as impossible situations." This quote is from baseball great Tommy Lasorda. And he says, "The difference between the impossible and the possible lies in a man's determination." Now, you can go to Google, I just did, and you can look up the key steps to consider when trying to deal with an impossible situation. Here's what Google will tell you. A, you'll need to assess the situation thoroughly. You need to focus on what you can control. You need to explore creative solutions. Seek external help if needed. Maintain a positive mindset. And accept that sometimes the best option might be to adapt and manage the situation rather than completely escape it. And then it tells you, remember that even in difficult circumstances, there may be small steps that you can make to improve your position. This is great advice, and thank you, Google and Gemini, for coming up with such wonderful things in such quick notice. How do we really handle impossible situations? You know, there's a thing called the ostrich effect, where they're not connected, but they could be. The whole saying that ignorance is bliss. The ostrich, when he gets startled, when his feathers get ruffled, he sticks his head in the sand and waits for the problem to go away. And sometimes as humans, we do that. We just it's an impossible situation. I don't really know how to deal with it. Maybe if I just don't deal with it, it'll work itself out, or someone else will come along and deal with it. And that was Clara and humanity in general. She's like, oh, the moon's gonna blow up? Cool, we got the doctor. You got this, handle it, my boy, because that's what you do. You save the day. If you look at our obsession with superheroes, Marvel, DC, whatever, it's what we do. We cause all of these damn problems and we wait on Superman to come fix it. And if we don't have somebody from Krypton, then we'll anoint some human as the savior. Come fix us, Billy Clinton. Come fix us, Barack Obama. Come fix us, Will Smith. Come fix us, Donald J. Trump. And a lot of these problems are our own making. None of those people, especially some of them more than others, are gonna fix shit in your life. Could that make things better in your life? They could. I think it is laughable that people think that a small group of millionaires and billionaires are all of a sudden so concerned with the plight of the working man and the working family. And the people that believe that, I think it takes a spectacular level of stupidity to think that they're concerned about you. They're not. You know who needs to be concerned about us? Us. But we're waiting on someone to save us. Our government is a representative government. We elect people to go to Washington to represent us. impossible situation. Because when you get there, even if you had the best intentions, you were a A1 Boy Scout, Girl Scout, you get to Washington and you find that you are in a pit of vipers and nobody gives a shit about anybody else. How can we steal more money from the American public and fill up our own bank accounts? You go to Congress or Senate or whatever office and you had 2 nickels to rub together. You got $1.19 to your name. And when your term is up, somehow now you're a millionaire. Now, I don't know, I could check the salaries. They don't pay that much. But I digress. No, the thing is, I could have named this, How Do You Deal with an Impossible Person? I mean, Clara is literally called the Impossible Girl. And the doctor himself is a myth. He's a legend. He's an impossible person. And particularly in this form, the 12th Doctor seems almost impossible to deal with. Let's talk about the situation. The doctor held back and put Clara in an impossible situation. I want you to determine the fate of mankind. And no matter how many adventures she's been on with the doctor, no matter how many times she's come in clutch and really saved the day, in an instant to be responsible for 7-8 billion lives, what do you think? Let's just go with it. Whatever you think, you're going to make the decision right now that could either end humanity and you be the last human, or, you might luck up and get right. Like, it's one thing for people to gamble. That is the biggest gamble of all time. Because when people go to the casino and gamble or whatever they gamble online, your betting usually doesn't affect anyone but you. I mean, you take some food out of your family's mouth or whatever, but your decision will leave you in ruin. Her decision could have ended the human race. How do you deal with that? That is enough PTSD and trauma to last many lifetimes. Let's go back to what Google said that you should do, which none of that is bad advice, really. The one that I like the most: control what you can control. A lot of things will not be in your hands. They will not be in your favor. You can only do what you can do. Hopefully, you're quick at making assessments. You're not an indecisive person. And at some point, you have to believe what is in your gut, what is in your heart. The thing is, sometimes these people who are presented with these type of options are not good people. In this situation, we got lucky because Clara, 99 out of 100 times, she is a good person. And that is the beauty of the companions for the doctor. The companions are good people. And they're showing the doctor, they're teaching him, they're reminding him each day of the beauty of humanity. Because at our core, at our instinct, we are awful damn creatures. We are awful to ourselves. We are awful to each other. Sometimes it would be easier for the doctor to get in his TARDIS and dip, just leave, go somewhere else. But he doesn't. Because he is our savior. We need him. Because we haven't figured it out yet how to save our damn selves. This is Rakai Steed, Noob from the Ville. Make sure that you like, share this as much as possible. Comment. You ever had an impossible situation you had to deal with? Leave in the comments. How did you deal with it? There's plenty of examples out there. And if for some reason you haven't subscribed yet, click the button, subscribe. Right now, subscribe. It's popped up this entire time you've been watching, down in the bottom right-hand corner. Remember, whatever we watch, whatever we do, we got to use this, but even more importantly, you got to use this.